All right, it's me again, and I've decided to make a part 18A to continue with the discussion of flow. Figured out my problem, and I did it. I had to mess around in MySQL. Um, when I'm doing my next and previous for presentations, I want to be able to filter out some types of presentations so that I'm not showing internal presentations, for example, or class sessions or interviews. So I use the not in clause. Whoops. So here we go. Not in for in my in SQL. Well, that works great unless your presentation cat details, in this case, unless your field is null or has no value. And then you can't do a comparison on no value, so it returns an empty result. So I had to put in this bit of phrasing in my command. Presentation cat details is null. So it's either present cat details is not in one of these things, or presentation cat details is null. And actually I reversed these in the actual SQL that I used, so that I evaluate this first, because I think this happens more frequently and is faster. So, and that was the problem, is that I hadn't defined any category details for any of my presentations for this course, because I had no need to do so. I do have a need to do so on my website, but I don't have a need to do so here. So here's the change that I made, and it's I just simply, I changed the bracketing a bit, and I added this cat details is null, and that fixed everything. So I'm going to take that and run make.pl. Not sure how high or low. About a quarter of the way down. So I'm going to go back into here, edit make again, and let's see. So this was make next that I'm looking for. So it's just, again, you can't really search for this, eh? I wonder if I can search for it if make next. Oh, well, that worked. Nice. Okay, so here's the line in question, and here's the fix that I made. So add a bracket, and now I copied the entire line, didn't I? Okay, Control Z. All right, so okay, that's the way it was. So I'm just going to replace this line with the new version. There it is. So now presentation cat details equals null, etc., etc. So we'll save that. Make it small so I can work with it again. So check for cat details is null and make next. Okay, that's it. Commit the change. And so now I was testing it. You see how I tested it, right? I just printed out, actually had it printing out the SQL, but now I can remove that. So I'll take that off here. So where did I put that? I put that right there. So I'll remove that. So that's how I sometimes test, right? I take a key value that I'm working with up in here, and I'll just add it to the output where I define the output, and then it just shows up. That's because I can't just print the value, because these pages, they don't always just take something and print it. So and some things, for example, other things might be positioned statically, so it prints and then something static goes over the top of it, stuff like that. So I just make sure it shows up in the display somewhere. So I'll upload this now, and I'll reload this page, and now I have my previous and next. So, and here it is here. And in fact, we're going to see it in all the presentations now, which is nice. Nice. That's the way it should work. So when we get to presentation 1, the very first presentation. Now these aren't in the order of the presentation number. These are in the order of the creation date. But as it turns out, it's the same. You see, now we're at the first presentation, and there's no previous, just the next. And when we get to the next, we'll see, if we go all the way to the last presentation, I'm just going to skip a bit ahead. So now we're at the last presentation, and here we are, right? It only has previous. Now what should happen is, the next time I make a presentation and publish it to the web, so that would be presentation number 11, this presentation should also be republished so it shows previous and next. That's what should happen. Whether it will happen, I'm not completely sure. And that's important, because the way this works is that there's two ways of viewing these pages. One way of viewing this page is to have it generated by the script, and that's what we're seeing here, because that's how I have this set up, because there isn't a lot of traffic on this site and I'm still actively editing the code, so I'll do that. But on my home website, it doesn't work that way. When I'm editing the site, I can force a reload of the page, but most of the time it looks for this directory, the actual content of this directory, and looks for a presentation named number 10, a static content, and it shows that, so it doesn't hit all the services on my website. That's really important, and that's one of the reasons why these MOOCs have been able to scale, is because I don't generate my content dynamically. So if we look in the actual structure of the file, you see here we have presentation. Now for some reason only presentations number 1 and 3 have actually published. That's probably because I haven't published the rest, because I'm working on everything dynamically, right? So let's go. So we'll go to our presentations, list presentation. So module 1, discussion, that's the most recent. No, I don't think we have that here, right? No, I only have 1 and 3. So let's go to publish, and we'll publish it to the web. And now I'm not getting a response back, but it should have published. And there it is, right? So I don't know why I'm not getting a response back. I should get a response back with the URL that it's published at, so I'll have to look into that. But now, what happens is, if Joe User comes along and looks for ethics.mooc.ca/presentation/10, the system will serve him that static version, which is only 18 kilobytes, pretty small, though it will include a larger PDF presentation in it, but you know, that can't be helped. But this 18 kilobytes as a page, that's pretty small. and it won't run the Grasshopper script at all. It'll just serve a plain flat web page, and that makes everything on the site that much faster. Again, it's about flow, right? It's not just, do I want this to have a way of just stepping through it? That way needs to be fast, right? And you see, look now, right? It's actually generating this page, right? Now it's generating this page, but when I go to 10, say right now it generates the page, but it really should just go right to this page right away, very fast, 14 kilobytes. So that's it for this. So now, if you wanted to, you could go to the course page, right? You can go to the videos, and you can go to the first video, which is way back here. And now you can just go through all of the presentations. Now let's do that for modules. Yeah, I forgot about that. Let's do that for modules. So how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to need to go to the module view. So title equals module. Okay. So module HTML, and we see we have this box course header and then all of the stuff. Really what we'd like between the course header and all of this stuff is a navigation bar. So I'm going to borrow from the other navigation bar that I made, which was here, nav bar. Right? I'll just borrow this, copy, and so we'll come back here, we'll put it in here. Now, do we need to do anything? Yeah. So we've got the left and next, no problem. So all we need now is the specific URL for all modules. Do I have a page that lists all modules? Well, course outline, right? So that's the best I can think of. So I could create a page just for the modules, but let's just use the course outline. So STURL. So that means I could use the same template on other URLs, not just ethics.mooc.ca, and then course outline.htm, as I recall. Pretty sure that's it. And then I'll say all modules. All right, should be done. So I wonder if that worked. Well, let's go have a look. Okay, so go back to the home page. Course outline, this is it. So here's one of the modules, getting ready. All modules, next. Oh, isn't that lovely? So I can see I need a little formatting there. It'd be nice to have the colors right. So, and obviously the spacing is a bit off there. That's not so good. So, let's give it a little space on the bottom. Bottom, 20px. Okay, column small 12. So it goes right across the top. Well, let's see what this looks like now. Okay, that's better spacing. I don't like all that space above it, but I think that's a property of this. Let's inspect and we'll see. No? Is it a property of ethical codes? No. Well, I don't know what's creating all that space. Let's try, I'll click right on it and then go inspect. Alright, so it should take me right to that. It didn't. All it took me is to the home. So I think there's nothing here. Maybe it's a margin. So let's see. Inspect element. See, I can just inspect anything. Now you see the reason why I click right on that. Now I have this right here. So, see. Line height is 40, but the font size is 40, so that's what we're seeing. Span. Let's see. Is there anything? Nothing above it fills that space. So let's look at my header. Or let's look at my, okay. Let's look at my wrapper. No. And header. Okay, so we're seeing the section ID, class equals wide content. I bet you that's the problem. Yeah, the margin is 40 pixels. And so, yeah, what we're getting here is the margin on top. All right, that's fine. It's not a big deal, and I don't care enough about it to change it. I know that's sad, because I think this still will look fine, right? Yeah. Oops. Getting ready. So I just don't like the way it sticks out like that, so I'm going to just adjust for that a wee bit. So let's give it a margin left of 10 px, and we'll see if that fixes things. Yeah, too much though. I want it to line up, because that's, you know, aesthetics. Make it all line up nice. So 10 was too many. So we'll come back here. Are we back? Oh, we're in the wrong page. We'll come back here. 10 was too many. Let's try 7. See if that's better. Nope, need a bit less than that, maybe 5. Oh man, still off. Try 3. Okay, let's see. No. Yeah, it's really close. But it's not right. So let's try 2. That's weird, because when I didn't have a margin left at all, it was sticking way out the other way. Let's try 1. Let's try 0. Oh, maybe it was going to a minus margin. That might have been what the problem was. So let's try that. Yeah, that lines up nicely. So I had to specify 0 there. And this one is fine over here. I'm not keen on all the extra, you know, and I might want to change the design of this, you know, just maybe to use a shaded background instead of another line. Or, you know, I don't know. And also I might want to change the color. But these are small details, and, you know, edit to taste, I guess. You know, we can come back in here. You know, a color green. I don't know if that'll work. Nope. A dot color. No, let's just try color green. I don't think that'll work either. No. Well, my little thingies there are green. So I just need to change the color of the link. CSS link color defined in span. So what I'm trying to do here is no, that has nothing to do with this. Okay, styling links. Let's try a. See, there's a hover link that has a destination, not just the name anchor styled using the link pseudo class. Let's try that. See, what I'm trying to do is, right, okay, yeah, here we go. Copy, now come back here. And spans. Link. Green. I don't know if that'll work. It's a bit tricky here. Nope. Well, I'm sure there's a way to do it. I just can't think of it off the top of my head, so I'm just going to leave it because we're recording a live video here and I don't want to spend a ton of time on that. And the green brackets all kind of pulls it all together anyway. So my other links here are red as well. I think my problem is my links in general in this course are red, and it doesn't really work, does it? I really should change the link color, maybe to blue, so that they'll stand out more. They'll be better. I think that's what I really should do. But okay, but the green brackets really does put things in order. So good. So I've got flow now for my modules. I can have flow for my tasks. I can have flow for anything. All I need to do is throw in this nav bar and then specify what my, all of whatever will be, the main page to go back to. So copy. So let's do this with tasks. So let's make a view for, list the views for tasks. List view. And so title task. Here we go. Task HTML. Box course header. And I wonder do we even have a page for all tasks? Yeah, we don't, do we? That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll just leave it as for now. We'll just leave it as the course outline. So I'll just put this as, say, course outline. Okay, and I'm going to copy this again. Alright, so let's have a look at the tasks now. So let's go to a module where there is a task. And let's look at the tasks, create blog, and there's the next task. What do ethics mean to you? And there's only 2 tasks defined so far, so all we get is one previous and one next. So the other thing was the course events. So again, we can do the same thing, list course event. So actually we're making the view for course event. So list view, equals event submit. And so event HTML, which is the page where we list a specific event, and we'll put that in there. And we'll just leave this as course outline, or do we have an all events page? We do have an all events page. Course activities, copy, course activities. So there we go. And of course we don't need all of that. All we need is the actual page name. That way we can again use this anywhere and not just on this course. Nice to have a template you can use anywhere. And so now let's look at a course activity. And here we are. Here's the next, and the next, and the next. So, and oh, I guess I should have all activities instead of course outline there. Oops, back here. All activities. Isn't this nice? Like, it's just so easy to update. There we go. All activities, and that'll take us back here. And there we go. To view this event live, click here, and we're into the activity center. All right. So there we go. We have flow in all the different aspects of our course. You know, the events, there's no need to have, well, I could do it for feeds as well, right? Next feed, next feed, next feed, but I don't think people are really looking at them that way. So the other stuff, we don't need much flow in. But, you know, now I can use this to add flow to any category of data that I create, not just pages. Ooh, I could do pages, but I'm hardly using pages. Next page, next page. No, not really. You know, but for any of these things, modules, activities, tasks, videos / presentations, all of these now have flow. And so the course has flow, and you can follow the course. It just makes it easier to move around. Right? You have navigation to move around. I'd like my navigation bar to look like that, and I may fuss around with it a bit so that it does look like that for all the other pages. But essentially the script is done, and I built this in. So pretty easy, nice real addition to the course. And now that definitely is it for the session on flow. I'm Stephen Downs.